what is it like to first transition into a family business? What was your experience with that? And then ultimately in taking over that business, what are those key, different business developmental stages?
So a lot of people see that I came into a family business and worked successfully with my dad, and we built a big business and we still love each other, hence some of the videos on Wine Library TV when we did shows together. I get 50 emails a week, still to this day, where I think it's less of my story, of like, how are you doing this? Like, how did you do this with your dad? My dad won't let me do anything. My mom won't listen to any of my ideas. Da 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 da. I came into my family business when I was 14 years old. So it was very easy for me to listen to my dad. I was a kid. I didn't go to some fancy school and get an MBA and then came into the business and thought I was better than my dad. I was a kid. That being said, I was very egotistical in my entrepreneurial spirit, and so even at 15, I probably thought I did everything better than my dad.
That you were the CEO.
It wasn't that I was the CEO, it was that I think what I do for my business today, I think comes from my dad. My dad was always willing to listen to me because I proved very quickly to him that I was good.
In what ways?
I sold a lot of crap, right? And I mean that by like, hey, we have 50 cases of this wine and everybody tried to sell it, and his 15-year-old son, who was clearly not able to drink the stuff and clearly knew nothing about it, was selling more than everybody else in the staff combined in the 4 hours that he was in on a Saturday. That made him take notice.
How did you do that, though? Take me through how like an experienced salesman, a connoisseur of the product,
I wish Malcolm Gladwell
knows
was
less
here.
than you do.
Well, easy. Malcolm Gladwell will tell you that 10,000 hours matter, and I will tell you that I put in the 10,000 hours of being a salesman between being 5 and 14 that most people put into their studies. And it's true. It's funny. If you really watch all the content that I put out for the last 5 to 6 years, I've gotten louder about me being a bad student because even 5 years ago, there was a part of me that was embarrassed about it. It's funny, when I say on stage that I failed all my classes, everybody laughs, and I think they say to themselves, oh, he was a BC student. I was really an F student, right? And so I was always embarrassed of that. That all my, I grew up in an immigrant way. When all those Russian families came to America with my parents, all those kids were taught to go to school. That was the way out, right? They were going to go to Harvard and Yale and NYU or what it was ever going to be, and that was your way out. The thing I alluded to earlier of my mom staying out of the way, it wasn't my path. When I was 11 years old, I was going to malls on the weekend and selling baseball cards to grown-ups with grown-ups and doing it better than everybody else because it's just my God-given ability, right? Like, why does LeBron dominate? Like, right? Like, why is Alicia Keys so damn good? Because you're born with talent. I don't think that people have really absorbed salesmanship or entrepreneurship as a talent until just now. It's just starting to happen. And so, if I was taught why New Coke failed in 3rd grade, I'd be an A student. If I was taught like how to reinvest your funds into hedge funds when I was in 4th grade, I'd be an A student. I didn't give a crap about Pluto or dissecting a frog.
Did you have a mission to make your father see that you wanted this business, or was
Absolutely.
this so you knew that you wanted to take over the business at an earlier age, or
at
transition
16,
to that role?
At 14 to 16, I was like, this sucks. I want to open up 100,000 baseball card stores. And then when I realized people collected wine, there was that hook to my heart because I came from collecting and selling things. I mean, the reason I sold a lot of wine when I was 14 was because I was full of crap. Like, whatever it took me to say to make them buy that bottle, I did. Luckily, through the next 7 years of my life, I got a lot more authentic, but I was well on the way of being a jerk-off, auto salesman.
What would you tell people today that are looking to take on a family business, that are looking to come up the ranks and eventually be the head in charge? What were the missteps that you took in that relationship? What were the missteps your father took in that relationship, and ultimately that allowed for a successful transition?
I'm going to go reverse on you. So it's not the missteps that are going to teach anybody. I'm going to say one thing, and it's the only reason it happened. We loved each other so much, but we loved the business more. I'm going to say it again, because it's really, really complicated to understand what I'm saying. Because let me tell you something, it was ridiculously hard. And it is by far the most difficult thing I ever did. Running a business with my dad, who I loved and respected so much, who I thought was underestimating what he was accomplishing, at the same token, not agreeing in principle on any of the operational aspects of the business. My dad thought that our employees were stealing and were the enemy. I thought they were the foundation of what we were going to do. My dad did believe investing in the business, so that helped me because I wanted to be on the attack. So we agreed on that, but we disagreed on an everyday basis. I cried 100 times in a 2-year period trying to fight to do what I wanted to do. But the thing that happened was we loved each other so much. He loved me as a son and being the father. I loved him as being my dad and giving me this shot. But we loved the business more, which meant push comes to shove, as long as I was driving results, my dad was letting me do what I wanted to do. If he did not do that, I would have left. And I think that that's what most fathers and mothers are doing. They're not letting the kid, even if they show them some results, actually make decisions. And if the kid's good enough and talented enough, they're going to leave.
Well, you're a parent now.
That's right.
How do you change that mindset in your own parenting of your children?
So my dynamic's going to be so different. I walked into a $3 million a year business that was running on 10% gross profit. We weren't like balling it up. You know, I planned by the time Misha and Xander are ready to make some decisions to ball it up. I'm dealing with a totally different thing, which is living in the Upper East Side of Manhattan, raising children as an immigrant. How the heck am I going to keep them grounded when they're going to go to $1 million bar mitzvahs in 10 years? That's the thing that messes with me, not like any of those things. Like, how do I keep them hungry in a world where I'm going to provide them everything, where my heart wants to provide them everything and my head wants to provide them nothing?
Which will win?
My heart.